All right, let's get into it. YouTube's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Huh, I wonder what's going on. Let's see. I may have to kill the stream and come back. Output streaming 1920. Doing CQP. Bump it down to, well, we can bump it down to, yeah, there we go. Apply a variable bitrate instead of CQP. Let's see, how's the PC specs doing? Not too bad, not too bad. GPU seems fine. Seems like we're doing okay. Cool. All right, we're back to excellent connection. I guess I'll have to figure out later on how the quality is. Okay. All right, streaming out of Visual Studio tonight. We're on Windows. Music is brought to you by Stream Beats. Check out Harris Heller's channel if you want to check out Stream Beats. It's pretty cool stuff. Here, I'll try to bring it over. Here we go. Yeah. So copyright-free music. It's not sponsored by him or anything. Don't have any sort of deal going on. It's just really cool stuff. I enjoy it. Been telling my friends about it. yeah, it's just cool stuff. Sometimes I even listen to it when not streaming and just kind of want something different to listen to while working. Let's see if we can get something a little bit different. Thing is, I haven't listened to too many of these albums all the way through, so I'm not too familiar with them. I don't think I've ever listened to this one. All right, let's see how that goes. Okay. It's been a while since I've coded in Python. Really, wow, let's see, it was 2013, 2014, 7 years ago since I did like some real Python work. I've dabbled in it since since then. Of course, back then it wasn't like real Python work or anything. It's a funny story that I'll probably have to tell later in a video, but I was working for an insurance company that still had a lot of their backend processing running on mainframes. So a lot of the development happened in a TRS-80 emulator. So what that meant was that we were also writing COBOL. We were maintaining a really large COBOL code base. I don't know if it was I don't know exactly how many lines of code it was, if it was in the millions or if it was just several 100,000, but it was a pretty large COBOL code base. But more importantly, it was really expensive to upgrade all that stuff to a modern language. The most modern language they were using was VB, and this was like 2013, 2015. Anyway, long story short, I was tired of writing code inside of this terminal, and so I found a way to FTP my code, the COBOL source code, out of the mainframe back to my PC, and I was able to write some Python plugins for Sublime Text. And the reason I needed those was to maintain the coding standards that we were adhering to with COBOL on the mainframe while we were, I couldn't pull all this stuff to PC and then write it completely strangely and then send it back to the mainframe and have to fix everything. I needed it to just go back to the mainframe over FTP and then just compile and run again. So I had to write a whole bunch of Python plugins to handle all of that text processing to make sure that the to make sure that the procedural code was adhering to our standards, because COBOL is written, it's a purely procedural language, or at least that version was. There's been newer versions with like some objects and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, that was the last time that I wrote Python, was writing little Sublime Text plugins to manipulate my COBOL source code to make sure that it was still up to par with some rather old coding standards. Really good, really robust, but also really old. All right, I saw the stream flash again. I'm hoping that it's still working. All right, anyway, so we're on Windows. This is Windows 10. I don't want to have to fire up a VM for any of this sort of thing, because the last couple of times that I've tried to work with VMs on Windows 10, it's been a little bit of an issue. So we are going to try to jump in. I know Visual Studio Code has a terminal, but I just want to start with command prompt. Let's see. This needs to be a little bit bigger. Well, that's not what I need. How do I make the text larger? Nope. The right answer might be, can I make the text larger? Properties, here we go. Buffer size, number of buffers, font. Here we go. Do we need 28? All right, we don't need the window quite so large. Not for what we're doing. Looks like that might be a good size for stream. And pull it over here a bit. Yeah, there we go. All right, cool. Okay, so first thing I want to do is just make sure that we have Python installed. I want to say that Windows 10 comes with Python 3 already there. Python 3.8. Yep, there we go. And we can call help. Can we call for help? Yes, we sure can. I don't want any of that. Whoops. Can I quit? Awesome. Sweet. Okay, cool. So we have Python 3 installed. Let me make sure. Let's see. Let's start a new file. Start a new file. Select a language to get started. Huh. Python? Yeah, so the reason that I gave that whole big spiel is because that's a Python extension now includes Pylance to improve completions, code navigation. That's cool. Okay. It's because I'm learning Python basically from scratch. I have, let's call it, 8-10 years of coding experience, but I'm learning Python. I want to learn how to write like actually really pretty good Python. So web applications, APIs, that maybe get into a little bit of Jupyter notebooks and that sort of thing. Python can be used for all kinds of really cool stuff. And I want to learn how to do it. And kind of the whole reason that I started this channel was to share my experience doing that sort of thing. So that's what I'm doing here. Just trying to do a little bit more live. Let's see, so where to start? I guess, how do we write to console in Python? Python concepts console output. It's a print. Let's start with the classic hello world. Hello world. There we go. And no semicolons. I'm gonna have to get used to that because I have primarily been writing in C-based languages. Where are we gonna throw this? I'm gonna take that away for a second. We're not gonna worry about where it's going. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna throw it in this folder called Python test. Let's see. I call the file scrap. Okay, for scrappy. And let's see. Can we open the terminal? Create new terminal. Sweet. And where was that we threw our code? I knew it was in junkyard Python test. Yeah, every time that I have a new instance of Windows or really any computer, I create a directory called junkyard. And anything that I'm doing code oriented, that's where I tend to throw it, is in the junkyard. Because if you've ever been to an actual junkyard, everything's just thrown all over the place because it's all useful, but hardly anything runs. All right, so let's see if we can run our scrappy file. Hello world. There we go. Sweet. Okay. So the very next thing that I want to do is create, I want to figure out how to create some variables. Cool. Python variables. W3 Schools. Awesome place. I don't like the way that they have designed their website, but pretty good information all around. All right, so I want to keep the print statement. Next thing I'm going to do is some basic arithmetic. So I'll just set the stuff up like that. Not so many. Yeah, 3 or 4. There we go. Let's see. Sum is, I wonder if the plus sign will concatenate the strings and we can do this basically like JavaScript. Oh yeah, I wonder what that is going to do. Is it going to be smart or is it going to be JavaScript? It's smart. Okay, cool. Can only concatenate string, not int to string. Awesome. Okay, so the next thing I want to do, let's see. I don't know if this is going to be crazy, but I am going to write down what the error is that we got. All right, now I realize what I look like on stream trying to type all that out. Let me see if I can just copy this. Yes. Cool. All right. Okay, how do we cast? So I know that addition and string concatenation apparently is all going to happen with the plus sign. And I kind of want to move through these concepts a little quickly. So how do we cast from integer to string? You know what? Just for giggles, let's show you what I'm Googling. Seems like it could make the stream a bit more interactive, and it might be fun just to see how much Googling happens when a developer is learning stuff. Geeks for Geeks, Python principles. You people sound good. Looks like string, wrap it in parentheses. Cool. Okay, so sum equals, you know what? Nah, I don't want to make an intermediate variable. I'll grab this, do that, grab these, just like that. Okay, cool. All right, now let's run Scrappy. Sum 309. 304 plus 5 is 309. Awesome. Cool. This was string concatenation plus, no pun intended, typecasting. There we go. And it was int to string, or integer to string. All right, sweet. Okay. Let's see, what else do we want to do? Let's see. Is Python object oriented? Yeah, let's talk about that. Ooh, I don't know if y'all heard that. I need to silence my phone. There we go. Well, Python is an object-oriented programming language. Yes, it is, within the exception of control flow. Everything in Python is an object. That sounds like JavaScript-ish, but everything in JavaScript is a function, unless it's not. I don't know. Classes. Okay, so apparently, since we do have classes and objects, and I don't want to make this stream reading a whole bunch of articles, let's just do Python how to create a class. docs.python.org. Always read the docs. RTFM. Read the free manual. Cool. Scopes and namespaces example. This is an example demonstrating how to reference the different scopes and namespaces and how global and non-local affect variable binding. Cool. Let's see. If I could turn the music up a bit. Cool, there we go. First look at classes. Classes introduce a little bit of new syntax, 3 new object types, and some new semantics. Class definition syntax. The simplest form of class definition looks like this. Cool. Let's see. Let's instead open, not a file, I want to open the whole folder because it's looking like I'm going to need more files. So let's go ahead and, yes, I trust the authors because I wrote them. Yeah, we don't want that, and we don't want API. Let's see. I want a new file. I want classes.py. Cool. All right, let's get our reference back. Class name, and then all your statements. Cool. Class definitions like function definitions must be executed before they have any effect. In practice, the statements inside a class definition will usually be function definitions, but other statements are allowed and sometimes useful. Yeah, that's great. Okay. I wonder if there is a way for me to pull YouTube chat into OBS. I'll have to figure that out later. I don't like switching between the two windows over here, that sort of thing. All right, class objects. Yeah, let's try this. Except I am not going to copy paste. I am going to type it all out. Because it seems to, at this stage, be creating some good muscle memory. So class, I want to, let's say a simple class, because I don't know what it's defining yet. Oh, the triple quote. I forgot about the triple quote. A simple example class. There we go. I'm going to do X instead of I. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to define F, which apparently is a function. Define F and return hello world again. Single quotes this time. Haha, from a class. I wonder if I can throw an emoji in here. Let's see what happens. Okay, cool. I think if I run this file, nothing's gonna happen because I'm not calling anything. I'm just defining a class. So let's see. Let's see, Python 3. Classes.py. Exactly, yes. Just defining it, no errors or anything. We're not running it yet. So we have to create an instance of the class. Okay, so I'm gonna call it S. Or simple. No, I'm not calling it simp. Simple. Let's see. Simple class. And then, how do I run the self-definition? Because I don't think that simply instantiating it is going to run that self-declaration. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't think so. The instantiation operation, calling a class object, creates an empty object. That's what I thought. When a class defines an init method, class instantiation automatically invokes init for the newly created class instance. So in this example, a new initialized instance can be obtained by such. Huh. Oh. So, oh, okay. This is just some weird syntax that they gave as an example then. So that must mean that if we want to call this, f is the name of the function. So if we want to call it, that would be f parentheses because f is the name. So let's see what happens there. No, I was wrong. Usually a method is called right after it is bound. In the myClass example, this will return the string hello world. However, it is not necessary to call a method right away if x.f is a method object and can be stored away and called at a later time. For example, x.f. Huh. Wait, I'm returning it instead of printing it. They're returning it. I wonder if we need to print instead. Yeah, instead of return, I wonder if we need to print. That's what I thought. And hey, our emoji popped out. That's really cool. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, cool. All right, it's a simple class. All right, let's see. Random remarks. The same attribute name occurs in both an instance and in a class. Then attribute lookup prioritizes the instance. Data attributes may be referenced by methods as well as ordinary users. This is getting pretty dry. Okay, cool. Let's go on to lists. Lists, tuples. I know that in Python, the lists and the tuples and the collections and all that sort of thing can get kind of interesting. So I don't want to go crazy into that during the stream, but just kind of want to comment that it's there. Yeah, here we go. Cover that back up. Yes, I do have the default Windows background still because I haven't activated Windows. I do need to do that. In fact, I need to upgrade the whole workstation, or not upgrade it, but kind of give it a tune up a bit. I need to finally buy some cable extensions, wrap up the fans a bit. I need to reapply thermal paste to just about everything, the CPU, GPU, and yeah, rerun some wiring and stuff like that in there. Python has a great built-in list type named list. List literals are written with square brackets. Lists work similar to strings. Use the len function and square brackets to access data with the first element at index 0. Okay, well, cool. Let's see if we can expand on our class here and create a list. I'm going to create another function. I'm going to say show list self. I still don't know what that self does. I want to create a list. Excuse me. I needed to find a better way to mute the microphone because I had to go all the way over here to click OBS in order to mute it. Okay. Let's see. All right, so back to list. Let's see. Let's put some colors in our list. No, RGB. Let's do RGB. Okay, and let's see, we're gonna do print. I want to show how long it is. Has blank items. And then I want to just print the list. Let's see what happens when we print the list. Cool. And then I don't think we need an end to it or anything like that. Yeah, I'm gonna get that out of here. Let's see. So simple dot show list. Cool. All right, so let's run this down here. I'll make this a little taller. Can I clear it? Yeah, there we go. Ooh, we have another error. Can only concatenate string. Oh, it bit me again. Okay, cool. All right, so let's throw this. Let's cast that to a string, I mean. Let's throw it again. My list has 3 items: red, blue, green. I said RGB and then I put them out of order. RGB, red, green, blue. There we go. Okay, cool. And I want to run it again. There we go. That's RGB. Cool. All right, let's move on to something else. Let's check out this API class. I think I was using Flask. And you know what? Actually, I don't want to do that. I want to play with something, and this might be a little bit dangerous. Okay, not dangerous. I just don't know exactly what I'm going to get into. So I ran into this earlier today on Hacker News. This is called PyFlow. Let's see if we can make this bigger. Nope. Nope. Select this window. There we are. So this is PyFlow. Sorry, let me get my windows back. There we are. Does that look on stream? That looks all right. So this is a graph structured interactive Python dev tool. Basically reading it right here. I thought this was pretty cool because I just don't see tools like this implemented in other languages. It seems like this stuff is almost specific to Python. And it's not like it's special to the language. It just seems to be that Python, this stuff happens to show up on Python or within Python. So I wanted to see if we could run this, if we can install it and get it running. Let's pop open our command line here. Pip install byc pyflow. What's gonna happen? Bunch of stuff goes bye-bye. Error, cannot install packages due to OS error. Permission denied. Cool. Fine then. I will just run you as administrator. And a newer shell, of course. Let's see. Yes, this one has the smart way of increasing the font size. So pip install byc pyflow. Okay, and we're running as administrator, so on Windows that's basically like give me sudo. I guess on Windows technically running under the system account would be give me sudo, or super user. Hopefully this bypasses any sort of permissions issues. Cool, you're using pip version 21.2.3, however 22 is available. You should consider upgrading via pip install upgrade pip. I don't think I want to do that just yet. Okay. This is saying that in order to run it, since it looks like it installed, we should be able to do python m pyflow. Hey, this little guy popped up. You should be able to see that on stream. Cool. File, new. Huh, okay. Don't know exactly where this is going. Window. Open. Let's see, junkyard, Python test. Let's open our Scrappy file. We know that there's nothing dangerous inside of it. It just closed. Let's see. Subwin self create new MDI child file name. Widget scene load. Do I need some kind of loading code in order to unsupported format py? Yeah, the whole thing just kind of crashed. Okay. New code block. Hey, there we are. Let's see. A from pyflow. We're really good at the hello worlds tonight. Let's see, what does this do? Oh, that runs the block. Okay, cool. So, a new markdown block? Does this mean that we can like literally just write markdown inside of it? Is this a header? Yes, it appears to be. Let's see. Oh, wow. Cool. So you can have markdown straight in there, kind of to explain what's going on. Well, in that case, exploration. Exploring. Ooh, okay. I hit the arrow key and apparently it did not like that. Let's see, let's try a new one. All right, new code block. Okay, let's do another code block. X equals 32. So let's see. Oh, can we connect them? I wonder if I have to connect the right side to the left side. It appears so. Okay, cool. All right, so if we can do that, then I want to know, convert your, okay, now let's read from the top. Features, create blocks of code in which you can edit and run Python code. Move and resize blocks on an infinite 2D plane. That's pretty cool. Link blocks to highlight dependencies. PyFlow will then automatically run your blocks in the correct order. Interesting. So if we can print from, I'm gonna call this, I'm gonna call this 1, or I'm gonna increment it 1. And then let's print, let's call this 2. And then, let's see, X is, that pink is kind of weird. We're gonna cast a string again because we're not gonna forget that because we learned our lesson the first time. Close the string. And then since I linked this first block down to this last one, I wonder if it will, do we run all or do we just, oh, you can change the, cool, you can change the theme too. Hey, it even has a little animation. Yeah. That's really cool. That is really cool. Okay, so we can kind of resize these a bit and throw them together this way. I love that. That's awesome. So it looks like you can't pass data between them, but that's fine. That would be kind of weird anyway. You would probably need like some sort of data container structure or some sort of class structure that you would be piggybacking off of to use that anyway. Looks like you can also convert your Jupyter notebooks to PyFlow graphs and vice versa. Sweet. This is really cool. This is really cool. I'm not so sure that it's ready for much else, since we're still crashing without errors being shown. But it's just kind of a cool tool. But yeah, I just kind of want to highlight that. I saw that on Hacker News today. Let me see if it's still, yeah, PyFlow. Let's see. Let me go ahead and close that. See what everybody else is saying about it. Let's see, make this a little bit bigger. It's basically Jupyter Colab extended with an explicit cell dependence graph. Yeah, however, I think this needs some serious brand work to distinguish it from visual programming. Okay, yeah, because it's definitely not visual programming. You're not moving little shapes around and kind of, you don't have a whole bunch of shapelets and stuff basically as symlinks for different types of code pieces and that sort of thing. Blueprints in UE4. Yeah, well, it's not really a visual machine language. That's not what it is at all. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to show that off. All right, well, it's almost 2:30. I need to go ahead and get off here and get to bed. I gotta wake up early in the morning. And I really just wanted to kind of get a feel for what this was going to feel like, see what a stream was going to be like. Next time we might go through some web API code. Like this is a really basic web API or Flask API that we're writing here. But yeah, looks like I might have been trying to do some web scraping on Google. or something like that. But anyway, cool. Test stream, I would say, is a success. Everything works. OBS works. Looks like I can switch between some of these different stream. What do we call them? Scenes. Yeah, I've got a couple of scenes set up. Nothing crazy, but expect more of this. I don't know if I can commit to a specific streaming schedule just yet, but I just really want to get into this because it seems like this channel, it would work well for it. So, but anyway, I gotta get to bed. I'll see y'all later. If you're watching this in the future, thank you, and happy coding. Keep building.